Now your 19 First Alert forecast.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. On this first alert weather day, it has been snowy all day, and in fact, I'm going to show you a live look out in near Ashtabula. This is I-90. If I take this banner down, I can tell you what direction we're looking. We're looking east, and as you can tell, on the right side lanes, on the eastbound lanes, there is no traffic. That's because it has been shut down for at least an hour, hour and a half now because of some jackknife semis out there. And you can attribute that directly to lake effect snow and what it's done in some of our communities as it continues to snow out there. We're going to welcome in 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chilian. Andy, shouldn't be too surprised that we see a portion of I-90 in Lake County, Ashtabula County, excuse me, closed because that's the heart of the snow that we're getting right now, this lake effect snow.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of many areas still getting pounded, but either way, it's something that it has been hazardous out there. I know crews are trying their best to keep up and clear these roads, but when snow has been falling for as heavily and as long as it has, then you're going to get some problems out there. Right now, on the right-hand portion of your screen, you see this is 90. This is going to be west of that point in Ashtabula, but not by much. This is, of course, Madison. And, you know, the road's a little bit better than it was earlier, but there's still some snow on it, and you can just see the snow continues to fall, and then every once in a while you're seeing what this looks like the scene from Frozen or something. I mean, you just got really this wind-driven snow, and that's been some problems too, this blowing and drifting snow. It's been almost difficult to measure because we have seen these drifts that are over 2 feet, but I want to show you some of the snow totals across our region. These have been some very impressive totals, and these were actually coming in from earlier this morning, so with more snow on top of that, I only expect totals for a lot of these areas to go up. But we've seen over a foot of snow in areas like Chagrin Falls, Pepper Pike, Pierpont, that's Ashtabula County, but especially east side of Cuyahoga County and parts of Geauga have seen high amounts. Concord in Lake County, a little over 8 inches. Parma, same thing as well. And we even take you to the west, to Lorain County, Elyria, a little over 7 inches there. Portage County, Hiram, 7 inches. Brunswick just shy of that, and Macedonia, North Olmsted. I tried to pull some reports from each county across our region to show you that this has not just been a localized thing, but many counties, especially those getting the lake effect, have seen quite a bit of snow with this system. All right, let's talk about what's happening right now. Needless to say, it's very cold out there. This wind has been a problem. I know we reported earlier that crews are having a hard time keeping up because of the wind, and obviously it's very cold. We're 15 in Cleveland, but it feels like a degree below zero, so that wind chill is a factor. Feels like -3 in Canton, -2 from Worcester to Mansfield. It's been very brutal out there this afternoon. And it's still snowing. Here's a look at our First Alert Doppler. Again, we're still seeing the snow, not just through the snow belt, but even on the western portions as well. Now, we are starting to see at least a bit of a break as you head towards Lorain, for example. And so it looks like we're finally starting to see the signs of things come to an end west of Cleveland. This will continue to be the trend as we head through around sunset. So I'd say by 5 p.m. things will begin to shift into the snow belt east of Cleveland. And by then, we should begin to see things wind down, I would say midnight or maybe a bit later. We always say lake effect lingers longer than we always think it does, so we're trying to give you some window here. So I would say especially for areas Cleveland and eastward, you need to watch your evening commute. But even on the west side as well, there's going to be some parts that may still be hazardous out there as snow bands and squalls continue down towards parts of Summit County, Medina, there you go. I know Akron's always in this sort of band here that sets up. We've got that as well to Elyria. And even in Cuyahoga County, there's some heavy snow falling downtown Cleveland right now. East side, it's just going to continue to pile up. And also from Lake and Geauga counties as well. And where that crashes in Ashtabula, you know, we're not seeing a lot on radar, but sometimes the snow can go undetected by the radar. The radar beam is so far away, it's all the way at Brook Park at the airport, so we can still be seeing some heavy snow there as well. So here's a look at First Alert Future View in general, showing the snow winding down for a lot of us by about this evening. I want to just give us a window to say through midnight we could see this lingering in the snow belt and maybe a couple of snow showers. You can see they're moving overnight through the start of the day tomorrow. But in general, things are drier for your Friday morning commute, and that would certainly be much better than what we saw for this morning's commute. Nonetheless, though, some roads may still not be plowed, side roads, secondary roads, you know where those are, so just be careful. We have another round of snow coming on Friday. This is a system snow. This is going to be due in here mid to late morning into the afternoon. You can see here by 1 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with more widespread snow across the area, temperatures in the 20s. That generally moves out by the evening. We'll likely see a break, and then we'll see, notice temperatures getting real close to freezing. That's not going to melt the snow, but will likely be near, if not even a degree or so above freezing for a few hours. Next round comes in late Friday night into Saturday morning. This one looks a lot more disorganized, much more scattered, and so we'll see this moving in, and then just scattered snow showers is what I'm calling for on Saturday. So a couple more rounds of snow to go. Here's a snow map that takes us from Friday only. So I'd say for the rest of today, we're looking at another inch of snow, maybe up to 2 in some of the heaviest bands, most of us getting less than that. This is Friday only, so we're trying to take this one step at a time. Most of us will be getting a dusting to an inch. There may be some localized bands that give us 1 to 2 inches from that system snow on Friday, out west even, and then in parts of the snow belt. So this is not going to be a lot of snow compared to, of course, what we're seeing right now, but this is just going to pile up. Again, there's really not going to be any melting, so if you have over a foot of snow on the ground, you're just getting more. And like I said, some of these snow drifts are 2, maybe 3 feet from the wind. It's going to be pretty blustery again tomorrow. And it's, of course, breezy right now. Temperatures and wind chills over the next several hours pretty much staying steady in the teens, and wind chills will be trying to get above 0 as the wind is not quite as strong this evening through the start of the day tomorrow. But any wind is going to be annoying with this type of chill, Dan. So I know lots to talk about, lots to throw at our viewers, but we just want everybody to stay safe. You know, we had that crash in Ashtabula. We certainly don't want more popping up in these types of conditions.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the weekend is not exactly the quietest of weekends either, and we're going to get to that just in 60 seconds. We will be right back. And welcome back. You're looking live again at I-90 at State Route 193. This is in Ashtabula County, very near Ashtabula. You can see the traffic heading towards us on the left side of the screen. That is open, but you can tell by the amount of snow on the eastbound lanes on the right side that eastbound is still closed in Ashtabula. I-90 eastbound in Ashtabula County near State Route 193 is still closed. There are some semis that have jackknifed and wrecked there, but the snow continues to fly out there. We're going to bring back in 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chillian to walk us through the 7-day, and not a single day there above freezing. So Andy, this is going to be around for a while.
Yeah, we are to the time of year where snow is going to be sticking around quite a bit. If you remember last winter, pretty much all of January had snow on the ground, so certainly not unusual for Northeast Ohio, but as we've talked about on First Alert Focus, sort of that recency bias, some of the previous winters, we've had, very little snow. In fact, just a random stat, I remember that really winter that we barely had any snow in 22, 23. We've already seen more snow already than that entire winter. That's not really a surprise given how not snowy that winter was, but we're off to a pretty fast start for this season. So let's take a look at the First Alert 7-day. We've got more snow and wind coming tomorrow. Saturday snow, I would say, is a lot more scattered, so it's not going to be as widespread as what we've seen, but still something to watch for. Now, Sunday, I'm going to see a break in the snow here. It's going to get colder, though, so that's the trade-off. Temperatures in the teens as we head throughout the day. And then we're watching our next round coming in. Monday snow, which is MLK Day, looks to be very lake effect driven, so it will be more kind of like what we're seeing today. Very cold. And then I want to turn everybody's attention to Tuesday morning. You see that 5 degrees there. very cold, and it's going to be windy. And there are some models showing that wind chills could be 10 degrees below zero or even colder. That is very dangerous. Temperatures, really wind chills, that is very dangerous cold. So we are going to continue to analyze the data here. We may end up issuing another 19 first alert weather day on Tuesday just for the cold. Could be a very dangerous morning. I know a lot of kids will already have Monday off for the MLK Day holiday. They may getting another delay or day off on Tuesday because of how cold it's going to be. I'm not expecting snow on Tuesday. It's just going to be so cold. And then Wednesday, our next round of snow here, finally calling it a typical chill on Thursday, not as bad. And we'll go ahead and show you the double weekend where, guess what, more snow chances there. This would be next Friday into Saturday and Sunday. So, I mean, it's amazing. You know, this winter's been kind of interesting. It's been tough so far. You know, we've had at least a week's at a time where we've seen some milder stretches. We haven't kept that snow on the ground, for example, but when it's been cold, Dan, it's been cold and it's been snowy, and we're certainly getting certainly a feeling for that here in the second half of January.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're getting paid back for some of our lighter winters we've had a couple of winters ago. This is not messing around time. 19 First Alert meteorologist Andy Chilian, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, take care. We do have 3.5 hours of news and First Alert weather coming up at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. As our meteorologists like to say, the next forecast is the most up-to-date forecast. They'll get new data in this afternoon, and so watch at 3 o'clock. The snow should be wrapping up around then, and they'll have a better idea of how much snow we can expect tomorrow. Until then, I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Hope you have a good afternoon and be safe out there.